Hello, I'm Alex, the Bacano insurance journalist. I am all about saving you money on health, car, life insurance, you name it. It's my passion to find ways to help you get as much insurance coverage as possible for less. In my never-ending search to save you money on insurance, I come across an awesome study, right, on US News. They drilled down into every minute detail and concluded that out of 9 major insurance carriers, USAA, Geico, State Farm consistently had the lowest annual rates. They incredibly searched and detailed and were very comprehensive and thorough in their study, including looking at premiums for good drivers and even those who had speeding tickets. These insurance carriers are also a great choice, by the way, for teenagers and senior drivers. Remember that as always, shopping around and comparing quotes from different insurance companies is the best way to find the best deals in car insurance. I have provided a link in the description to the source material if you want to take a look at that study. Here is the study's findings for cheapest car insurance companies for each of the following categories. Thank you, by the way, once again to US News on this one. For teen drivers, Geico. For senior drivers, Geico. For military community members, USA. After a speeding ticket, look no further than State Farm. After an accident, State Farm. After a DUI, State Farm. Poor credit, Geico. Minimum coverage, Geico. And full coverage, Geico. Way to go. What is the overall cheapest car insurance company? Active military veterans and their families have a sweet deal. People in this grouping with clean driving records, according to the study, enjoy some of the lowest rates through USAA. This insurer has great customer reviews, has the lowest annual rates for drivers with a clean record, which is especially great for those shopping for minimum coverage. Additionally, it was also noted that USAA had the lowest car insurance premiums for motorists with speeding ticket or accident on their driving record. Who are the runner-ups? Geico offers cheaper insurance than most for the exception of the USA. Geico is considered one of the best car insurance companies with rave reviews from policyholders. The US News study found that Geico has among some of the lowest car insurance rates for drivers with a clean record and drivers with poor credit histories and newly licensed teen drivers. State Farm is a solid choice for those needing affordable car insurance, but who also have blameless driving records. US News concluded that State Farm has the lowest average cost of car insurance for those motorists with a DUI. State Farm has reasonable insurance rates for drivers who have a speeding ticket or an accident on their records. Car insurance rates are highly individualized depending on quite a few factors, such as where one lives, the car being insured, one's credit score. Insurance underwriting will also take into account driving records, including the following infractions: speeding tickets, DUI, having an at-fault accident. Cheapest car insurance for teen drivers and seniors, Geico. US News found that Geico has the cheapest car insurance rates for most teen drivers, with some saving up to 35% or more. Their study also noted that significant savings are in place with Geico for senior drivers as well. Teaching someone to drive, of course, can add years to anyone's age. If you have survived that scary, arduous ordeal, you probably know better than most just how precious life truly is. Teaching someone how to drive is just the beginning for kids, as far as needing more resources than ever before to survive and to thrive in today's world. A great way to ensure that they get those resources, no matter what, is by getting as much life insurance as possible. If you're not sure where to begin to look, make sure to check out my earlier video in which I shared my thoughts on a revolutionary new platform called Sprout. On to the rest of the list. Even though many auto insurers offer discounts for military members and their families, I will still recommend that military personnel, veterans, you name it, and their loved ones always consider USAA. This carrier is well regarded and has consistently offered some of the lowest rates in the industry. Good drivers can expect rates that are 31% lower than the national average. USAA also has the extremely competitive, or most competitive rates rather, for insurance rates for teen drivers, senior drivers, and even those with speeding tickets and accidents on their records and drivers seeking minimum coverage. Cheap car insurance after a speeding ticket, look no further than State Farm. Drive carefully because avoiding speeding tickets and other traffic violations is the best way to get and maintain cheap car insurance rates.
Whenever these things occurred, US News found that the average insurer would then raise rates by as much as 23%.
State Farm, however, is a real one because they only increased their rates by an average of about 11%, with this rate increase lasting about just 3 years. Although not a discount, they had by far the smallest increase among the providers that were analyzed in US News' study. Just in case you were considering or wondering, a single speeding ticket doesn't mean you'll pay higher rates for the rest of your life, but most insurance will increase your premium for at least 3 years, if not more. Cheap car insurance after an accident, State Farm. Nationally, the average rate for drivers with an accident on the record is 29%, higher than the average rate for drivers with a clean record. State Farm's rate was noted as being the lowest in the study. Accidents can wreak havoc on car insurance rates. They can also be harmful to your bottom line in other ways as well. Dealing with insurance carriers after an accident isn't always a clear-cut process. Make sure to check out an earlier video in which I broke down the things that you will most likely encounter when dealing with car insurance companies following an accident. What's worse than insurance? Or rather, what's worse than an accident for insurance? A DUI. Cheap car insurance after a DUI? Look no further than State Farm. It is generally accepted that DUI will almost always lead to a significant rate increase. State Farm was chosen by US News to have the most reasonable rate increase out of all the car insurance companies that we looked at. The average annual rate increase was noted as being 61% when compared to rates for drivers with a clean record. State Farm increased rates after a DUI, but only by about 35%. Cheap car insurance with poor credit, Geico. What I'm about to say may come as shock to many of you, but poor credit can increase insurance rates nearly as much and sometimes even more than a DUI. Thankfully, we have Geico, whose rates for drivers with poor credit is 28% lower than the national average and was recognized as the cheapest by US News this study. Nationwide was a close second in this category, making it another competitively priced insurance carrier for drivers with bad credit. Credit scores, however, are not a factor that is included in underwriting when calculating insurance rates in California, Hawaii, and Massachusetts. Remember that, please. Cheap car insurance for minimum coverage and full comprehensive, we're talking Geico here. For those looking for cheap auto insurance that meets state minimum guidelines, Geico came up as the least expensive option. According to the study, this also applied to full coverage with both groups, seeing as much as 18% lower rates with Geico. Have you ever had to shop for car insurance? What tips do you have for finding the best deal? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're looking for ways to save money on all your forms of insurance, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to this channel as we share all sorts of tips and tricks to help you get the most for your premium. Till next time, take care of yourself.